So hello everyone. Today we will be doing CodeTON Round 4 Div.1 plus Div.2 contest first four problems which was held on Codeforces. So let's begin. First que- the in first question, sequence of a sequence is called good if there exists at least one I for which a of I is equals to I. For that sequence will be called as good. And the sequence is called beautiful if and only if there exists at least one subsequence of A satisfying that this subsequence, a subsequence of what is a subsequence? Subsequence of a sequence, a subsequence B is a sequence B is a subsequence of a sequence A if B can be obtained from A by deleting uh, several, possibly zero, for all elements. For this question, we given three test cases, and for each test case, the first integer will be n, and in second test case there will be n integers given to an. So we have to find whether the given sequence is beautiful or not. So uh, here we will be given a sequence. Let's take the example that we are given. As the first example, first test case, we are given three integers, and the integers now uh, we, this sequence is beautiful because we can split this subsequence, that is 3 and 2, with n index as n index. So this subsequence would the overall sequence. So the logic for this question is that if a of I less than equals to I plus 1, where I is 0 based index, that is I moves I can be 0 minus 1. Now, if this condition is satisfied, then the now how do we arrive at that? Let us assume that we are given a sequence A2, A4, 5. Now let us assume that A5 is 5. So let us assume that A5 is 5. Now if A5 is 5 equals to 5, we can select the whole sequence A1, A4, A5, A5 being the it is at 50. This subsequence is good. The overall sequence, now if A5 is equals to 4, select 3 AIAJ from A1, A2, A3, A4, and it will be A5. 5 that fourth index A5 is this this subsequence good. The overall sequence is equal to and 1. Uh, Now is it clear? Uh, Overall, if this condition satisfies, we can select the AI element and I plus 1 I elements before AI, any I element, any AI minus 1 elements AI, uh, and finally we'll take A of I, and this subsequent will be good, and the overall sequence is beautiful. Is this clear? So guys, are you clear with the logic? Not, we can explain it again. Is it clear or not? Okay, hoping that you all are clear with the logic. So let me show the code for this. You are. So the code for this logic is, for this question is simple. We will take t test cases, input t. For each test case, we will input n and and an array a of n. For each a of I, we will check if it is less than or equals to I. If it is less than or equals to I plus 1, the answer variable change to yes, else it will stay as no. We will simply output. This was one. Is the code and the logic clear?
Yes, we are.
Okay. So let's move on to question number 2.
Okay, so let's go for question number B. So here initially you have given one candy, and what you have to do, you have to check that whether you are means able to go to exact 10 candies or not, and if you are able to get to exact 10 candies, then in how many steps you are able to do that. Okay, so here you can see that you are given that you are given that uh, means there are two operations in which one operation you can do that from x candies you can make it 2x minus 1, and in second operation you can make it 2x plus 1, and and at most you can do these two operation 40 times. Okay, so uh, let's go it with uh, some example. Okay, so well, so just suppose initially I have X candies, so I have two options, uh, either to make it 2x minus 1 or 2x plus 1. So just suppose I have 2x minus 1, then again I have two options to make it 2x minus 1 or 2 into like that, and again there are two options. If I write it, it will be 4x minus 3, means this is 4x minus 3, this is 4x minus 1, and similarly if you write it you will get it 4x plus 1 and 4x plus. So similarly we can make it as a tree. So if I take a general example, just suppose since at the start we have one candy, so there are two options. I am going with option number 1, which will make from x to 2x minus 1. So here what will you get? Means 2x minus 1, then you will get 1 again, you will get 1 again, and if I go with option number 2 you will get 3. So again I have two options. So if I go with option number 1, then I will get 1, 2x minus 1, and if you go with option number 2, then I will get 3. Again in 3, if I go with option number 1, I will get 2x minus 1, means 6 minus 1 5, and with option number 2, then 6 plus 1, that is 7. So if I make another branch for this, again the same thing. If I go with option number 1, then I will get 3. If I go with sorry, and if I go with option number 2, I get 3, and here if I go with option number 1, then I will get 5, and with option number 2 I will get 7. If I go with here option number 1, I will get 9. Option number 2, 11, and I write this will be okay. So means in the similar way this tree will continue. Okay, so let's take me a short example for just suppose 7. Means if 7 is given to us, then how we can write our answer. Okay, so since in the question one thing is mentioned that you can use at most 40 operations, means at most 40 steps. So for using 40 steps means at most, so uh, we want that we should reach to the element in minimum ways. Okay, so if I take 7, then there are two ways. There is 7, there is 7. So uh, since for reaching here I can go this way and this way, or there is something this and this. So there are two ways for 1 to 3 and then 3 to 7, that is using step 2 and step 2. Or what I can do, 1 to 1, then 3, this is 1 or 2. So and you can observe one thing also, that you are never going to get a even number. So if even number is given in the input, so we will return -1 for that. Otherwise uh, we will simply do these two operations. Okay, so let us look this one, 1 3 and 7. Okay, so now 7 is given to us, so what we will do, we will simply means from 7 how 7 can how we can get 7. So for operating 7, there is one possibility that it can be, since it is of the form 2x1 2x plus 1 for 3. Okay, so we will do 7 minus 7 by 2, and this will give us 4. But as we know that we are not going to get even number anywhere, so what will we do, we will do 7 minus 7 by 2 minus 1, so it will give us 3. Yeah, we can get 3. So since we are subtracting -1 also, so this is our operation 2. Okay, so now we have reached 3. So for 3 to coming 1, what we can do, again the same thing, we are taking that 3 minus 3 by 2, and this will be 2. But again this is a even number, and as we have seen that in this tree we are never going to get a even number, so again we will have to subtract -1 again, we will get 1. So since we are again subtracting -1 additionally, so we will use the second step. Okay, so these are the two steps from which we get 7. Okay, so let me take another example. So let me take 17. So if I take 17, this is 17. So what I will get, 17 minus 17 by 2. So this will give me 9. Okay, it's fine. Since we don't have to subtract -1 again, so it will be our first one. So no. For 9 again we will do the same thing, 9 minus 9 by 2, so it will give us 5. So this is again odd, is good. Now for 5, doing the same thing, it is 3, again odd. Okay, it is good. So now here we have got 3, again 3 minus 3 by 2. Now we got here 2, but this is means we can't get even, so we will subtract -1 again, and we will get 1. Here we will get 1. So this is 2. So you can see that for getting 17 we use 4 steps, and steps includes operation 2 first, then 1 1 and 1. Okay, so similarly we have to do, we will start from the given n and we will reach to 1. Okay, so let me explain it through the code. Okay, so before going to code, it okay, Yogesh, what's your doubt here? Okay, it's fine. So, is it means the logic behind the question number B is clear? Okay, so let me go to the code. Okay, so as I have told you earlier that we are never going to get a even number. So this is the first condition. If I get -1, then I am not going to check anything else. So that's why I have used continue. Means I will go for the next value of n. Okay. So just suppose I have got a uh, odd number n. So as you have seen in the tree that we can always make an odd number. Okay, so this is the condition, means from the last I am coming to the number 1, means as you have seen in 17 to 1 how I came. So this is the simply means I am taking the divide by 2, means the n by 2 is even or odd. So if it is even, then means as you know that n is odd, and if I get x equals even, means n minus x is going to be odd, and we always know that we are going to get a odd number. So that's why I have simply pushed 1 in the vector, and I have reduced the value of n by x. And just suppose I am getting x as an odd number. So if I am getting x as an odd number, n is also an odd number. So if you subtract n minus if you get n minus x, then it is an even number. But you want an odd number, so you will subtract an additional -1 here. And since this is the condition for step 2, so that's why I am pushing 2 in the vector, in the answer vector. Okay, so when all this operation is done, means you reach to n equal to 1. So here the loop will end, and you will have to print the number of steps. So you have stored the number of steps in a vector. So answer dot size will tell you number of steps. And since you are going to means in example we have seen that we are going from 17 to 1, but we have to answer from 1 to 17. That's why I have started um, printing here from the end of the vector. And after that, here new line. So is here is here is everyone clear with the code? Okay, I hope you all are okay with it. So let's move to the next question.
So guys, let's proceed with next question. Question number C. I hope my screen is visible now. So this is the C question. So what we are given is we have to make a permutation. What we are given is हमको टेस्ट केसेस गिवन है, जैसे यहाँ पे 8 टेस्ट केसेस है, उसके अंदर हर टेस्ट केसेस में 2 लाइंस है. जो फर्स्ट लाइन है वो रिप्रेजेंट करिए एनसीडी, सेकंड लाइन रिप्रेजेंट करिए एन साइज की एरे. तो फर्स्ट लाइन में n गिवन है 3, तो इसके अंदर 3 एलिमेंट्स है, 3 साइज की एरे. और फिर गिवन है सी और डी, और जैसे ये सेकंड टेस्ट केस है, इसके अंदर एरे की साइज 5 है, तो फर्स्ट नंबर 5 है, एंड सो ऑन. ऐसे टेस्ट केसेस है. उसके बाद में हर टेस्ट केस की पहली लाइन का जो इनपुट है वो एन सी डी है. एन क्लियर हो गया, फिर आता है सी और डी पे. सी और डी भी कुछ कुछ है. सी मतलब हम एक इंटीजर रिमूव कर रहे हैं एरे से, उसको हमने सी बोला है, उसकी कॉस्ट सी है. और डी मतलब अगर हम कोई भी इंटीजर एरे में कहीं पर भी ऐड करें, भले वो फर्स्ट पोजीशन पे हो, लास्ट पोजीशन पे हो, या फिर कंजिक्यूटिवली मिड में हो, तो उसकी कॉस्ट डी है. तो अगर मैं सेकंड वाला टेस्ट केस एक्सप्लेन करने की कोशिश करूं, तो 5 जो है वो साइज ऑफ एरे है, जो फर्स्ट एलिमेंट है 5, वो साइज ऑफ एरे है। 1 मतलब अगर मेरे को इस एरे में सपोज 7 ऐड करना है तो मैं वो एंड में ऐड करूंगी और उसकी वैल्यू मेरे पास क्या है 1। तो 7 ऐड करूंगी तो उसकी वैल्यू 1 हो जाएगी, उसकी कॉस्ट 1 हो जाएगी। अगर मेरे को 8 भी ऐड करना है तो उसकी कॉस्ट 2 हो जाएगी। देन गिवन है 5। 5 ये डिनोट कर रहा है कि अगर मेरे को एग्जिस्टिंग एरे में से कोई एलिमेंट हटाना है, सपोज मेरे को 3 हटाना है, तो उसको हटाने की कॉस्ट मेरे पास 5 होगी। सो नाउ मेरे को ऐड और रिमूव करना क्यों है? मेरे को एक परम्यूटेशन बनाना है कोई भी लेंथ का जो कि n या n से कम हो, जैसे 3 है। ऑलरेडी एक परम्यूटेशन बन रखा है। परम्यूटेशन क्या होता है वो भी बताती हूँ। जैसे परम्यूटेशन इज 3 2 1 4, दिस इज अ परम्यूटेशन ऑफ साइज 4। अभी मैं ऐसा बोलूँ 3 2 2, दिस इज नॉट परम्यूटेशन बिकॉज इट डजंट कंटेन 1। सो परम्यूटेशन ऑफ साइज n इज it contains all numbers from 1 to n exactly one time in any order. तो क्लियरली जो फर्स्ट टेस्ट केस है 1 2 3, ये एक परम्यूटेशन है एग्जैक्टली क्योंकि इसके अंदर एक तो 3 साइज है इसकी और 1 से 3 के अंदर सारे एलिमेंट्स प्रेजेंट है और एग्जैक्टली एक एक बार ही हर एलिमेंट प्रेजेंट है। तो इसके अंदर तो कुछ चेंज करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है, तो इसकी कॉस्ट 0 हो गई। नेक्स्ट वाले पे आते हैं 1 2 3 5 6। इसके अंदर देख रहे हो तुम लोग, तो इसकी कॉस्ट कैसे निकालूं मैं? सपोज 1 है 2 है 3 है, ये तो एक ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्टिंग परम्यूटेशन बन सकता है। अगर मेरे को सिर्फ 5 और 6 रिमूव करना है तो 3 लेंथ का एक परम्यूटेशन बन जाएगा। 5 और 6 रिमूव करने की कॉस्ट क्या है? 2। एक बार 5 रिमूव किया, एक बार 6 रिमूव किया, इसकी कॉस्ट 2 आ गई। तो बेसिकली हमें कुछ ऐसा करना है जिससे हमारी फाइनल कॉस्ट जो मिनिमम हो। इसके अंदर पता है हम एक और स्टेप क्या कर सकते हैं? इस पूरे को परम्यूटेशन बनाने के लिए मुझे इसके अंदर सिर्फ एक 4 ही तो ऐड करना है, बट उसकी कॉस्ट क्या लग रही है? 5 लग रही है। तो 5 इज ग्रेटर देन 2 ना, तो हम ऑफकोर्स 2 लिखेंगे क्योंकि हमें सबसे स्मॉलेस्ट आंसर चाहिए। तो देखते हैं इस क्वेश्चन को कैसे अप्रोच करना है। सबसे पहले इनपुट ले लेंगे एनसीडी, सी एन एनसीडी, फिर एक एरे बना, एरे डिक्लेयर करेंगे और एरे के सारे इनपुट्स लेंगे और उसके बाद में हम एरे को सॉर्ट कर देंगे। सॉर्टिंग का भी रीजन बताती हूँ। इससे क्या होगा कि परम्यूटेशन है तो कोई भी चलेगा, तो मैं ऐसे ही परम्यूटेशन मान लेती हूँ इंक्रीजिंग ऑर्डर का परम्यूटेशन। जैसे 1 to n का इंक्रीजिंग ऑर्डर का परम्यूटेशन क्या होगा? 1 to n काउंट। सो बेसिकली 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 अप टू n, वो उसका परम्यूटेशन होगा अगर मैं उसको सॉर्ट कर दूंगी। तो मैंने सॉर्ट कर दिया है। सपोज एक बार मैंने माना कि मैंने सारे एलिमेंट्स जितने भी है, तो इस क्वेश्चन के अब लॉजिक पे आता है। इस क्वेश्चन का लॉजिक क्या होगा? अगर सपोज ये वाली जो एरे है इसके अंदर से मैंने सारे के सारे नंबर्स हटा दिए, तो उसकी कॉस्ट क्या होगी? इस एरे की साइज इंटू सी। सी कॉस्ट किसकी है? एक एलिमेंट हटाने की कॉस्ट। तो अगर मेरे को एरे के सारे एलिमेंट्स हटाना है और फिर मेरे को इसके अंदर 1 ऐड करना है, तो उसकी कॉस्ट क्या होगी? सारे एलिमेंट्स हटा दो, मतलब n इंटू सी, और प्लस मेरे को 1 ऐड करना है, तो वो 1 साइज का परम्यूटेशन हो जाएगा अगर सिंपली 1 है तो प्लस 5। सो बेसिकली उसकी कॉस्ट क्या हो गई? 5 + 5 10। तो मैं क्या कर सकती हूँ अपने क्वेश्चन को स्टार्ट करने के लिए? मैं ऐसा अज्यूम कर सकती हूँ कि मैंने पूरा परम्यूटेशन उड़ा दिया है और मैं इनिशियलाइज कर दूंगी अपने आंसर को किससे? c इंटू एन। तो मैंने सबसे पहले अपने आंसर में क्या किया है? आंसर को इनिशियलाइज किया है c इंटू एन से। अब परम्यूटेशन की बात है तो मैं एक वेरिएबल k रखती हूँ और k को मैंने इनिशियलाइज किया है 1 से। k 1 से कब तक जाएगा? साइज ऑफ परम्यूटेशन तक। तो मैं हर बार ऐसे देख रही हूँ k को प्लस प्लस कर रही हूँ, प्लस प्लस कर रही हूँ, यहाँ पे भी सेम। तो मैंने k इनिशियलाइज किया है और s मेरा क्या है? फाइनल आंसर है। तो अगर मैं देखूं तो ए आईज जो है वो 10⁹ तक जा रहा है और एन 10⁵ तक जा रहा है। तो टू बी ऑन अ गुड साइड मैं आंसर बड़ा ही डिक्लेयर कर देती हूँ क्योंकि मेरे को मिनिमम लेना है ना। मिनिमम लेने के लिए आंसर को बड़ा डिक्लेयर करना पड़ता है। हाँ, नोट एवरीवन, अगर यहाँ पे तुम लोग इंट मैक्स लोगे तो आंसर गलत आएगा। तो या तो तुम्हें 1 ही 18 लेना है या 1 ही 15 लेना है। 1 ही 15 मतलब 10⁻15। इट्स अ शॉर्ट वे टू राइट इट। अब क्या करना है? सॉर्ट करने के बाद मुझे एक लूप रन करना है। सपोज मेरे पास ऐसा है कि जो मेरे को एरे गिवन है वो है 1 2 3 4। तो पहले मेरा आंसर क्या है? 4 इंटू सी। अब जैसे जैसे मैं एरे को आइटरेट कर रही हूँ, मैंने के को 1 रख लिया। सपोज अब मैं एरे में आइटरेशन कर रही हूँ, आई की वैल्यू यहाँ पे ये है, के की वैल्यू यहाँ पे ये है, एरे ऑफ आई ये है, और आंसर की वैल्यू ये है। अभी तुम लोग ध्यान से देखोगे, जब आई मेरा 0 है, आई मतलब आइट्रेशन वाला स्मॉल है, जब आई मेरा 0 है और के को मैंने 1 से इनिशियलाइज किया, के 1 है, और ए आर आर आई भी 1 में है। अब तुम लोग ध्यान से, ए आर आर आई मतलब ए आर आर ऑफ 0 इस पोजिशन पे, तो के और ए आर आर आई इस पॉइंट पे इक्वल है, तो मैं क्या करूंगी, आंसर को जो मैंने इनिशियली डिक्लेयर किया उसमें से एक सी माइनस कर दूंगी कि हाँ भाई ये सी तो मेरे काम का ही है, ये वाला 1 तो मेरे को चाहिए ही ना हमेशा आंसर में। अगर मेरे को परम्यूटेशन बनाना है कोई भी लेंथ का, तो उसके अंदर 1 तो मेरे को हमेशा चाहिएगा, और आंसर मेरे को हर बार क्या चाहिए, मिनिमम चाहिए। तो आंसर में अभी तो आंसर बहुत बड़ा है ना, 4 इंटू सी, जब मैंने सारे एलिमेंट्स हटा दिए, अगर सपोज मैंने सिर्फ 1 एलिमेंट है उसे रखा है, बाकी 2 3 4 हटाया, तो उसकी कॉस्ट क्या होगी, 4 इंटू सी माइनस सी। चलो ठीक है, अब मैं इस पॉइंट पे क्या करूंगी, अगर मेरा के और ए आर आर ऑफ आई इक्वल है, अगर मेरा के और ए आर आर आई इक्वल है, तो मैं के को इंक्रीज करूंगी बाय 1। तो जब आई 1 हुआ, ए 2 हुआ, तब ए आर आर ऑफ आई भी क्या है, ए आर आर ऑफ 1, क्योंकि आई 1 है ना, तो ए आर आर ऑफ आई यहाँ पे क्या है, 2। तो फिर से मैं आंसर में से माइनस कर दूंगी, 4 इंटू सी माइनस सी आंसर अपडेट फिर से। तो ऐसे करके आंसर अपडेट होता रहेगा, इस केस का लास्ट में आंसर मिलेगा 0, क्योंकि इसमें तो ये तो पूरा परम्यूटेशन है, कुछ हटाने की जरूरत नहीं है, कुछ ऐड करने की जरूरत नहीं है, कोई कुछ नहीं। सपोज अब बात आती है कि यहाँ पे ये एलिमेंट 3 नहीं होता, 1 2 4 होता, तो मेरे पास ऑप्शन क्या क्या है, या तो मैं 3 ऐड करूँ या फिर मैं 4 हटाऊं। तो अब तुम लोग ध्यान से देखोगे, आई की जब मेरी वैल्यू 2 अपडेट हुई है, तब मेरी के की वैल्यू 3 अपडेट हुई है, बट ए आर आर ऑफ आई यहाँ पे 4 है। तो मेरे पास पहला ऑप्शन क्या है, यहाँ पे डिफरेंस आ गया, मतलब 3 और 4 तो इक्वल नहीं है। तो अब मैं यहाँ पे क्या कर सकती हूँ, जो एग्जिस्टिंग आंसर है उसको एज इट इज रखूं, कि भाई ठीक है, मेरे को इसमें से 4 डिलीट करना है, तो मैं सी नहीं हटा रही, क्योंकि सी, उस आंसर का सी क्या डिनोट कर रहा है कि मेरा 4 उसमें एग्जिस्ट कर रहा है, और या फिर मेरे को 3 ऐड करना है। तो मैं इसमें ऐसा करूंगी कि अपना जो फाइनल आंसर है, जिसको मैंने एस से डिक्लेयर किया, उसको मैं ऐसे करूंगी, मिनिमम ऑफ एस कॉमा आंसर, और फिर मैं आंसर को इस तरीके से अपडेट करूंगी कि मैं एक बार लिख देती हूँ कि मेरे को 3 ऐड करना है। तो 3 ऐड करने के लिए अब मैं आंसर में कैसे 3 ऐड, तो मैं 3 ऐड कैसे करूंगी, मैं के को फिर से प्लस प्लस करूंगी और आई को माइनस माइनस करूंगी, क्योंकि अब मैंने 3 ऐड कर दिया है। तो 3 मैंने कहाँ ऐड किया है, यहाँ पे, तो 3 ऐड हो गया है। और 3 ऐड होने के लिए जो आंसर की कॉस्ट हो जाएगी इस पॉइंट पे, पहले मिनिमम ऑफ आंसर, या फिर उसके बाद में आंसर को फिर से अपडेट करेंगे, आंसर प्लस डी। ये डी क्या बता रहा है, सी 3 ऐड करने की कॉस्ट, अगर कोई एलिमेंट हमें ऐड करना है तो उसकी कॉस्ट क्या है, डी, तो वो मैंने ऐड कर दिया यहाँ पे। और आई माइनस माइनस क्यों किया, क्योंकि एरे के अकॉर्डिंग तो 4th एलिमेंट मेरा सेकेंड आई पे है, तो मैं फिर से सेकेंड पे गई, अब मेरा के अपडेट हो चुका है 4 पे, ए आर आर ऑफ आई भी क्या है, 4 है, तो ये तो सही है। हाँ भाई ठीक है, इसको भी माइनस कर दो। तो पहले आंसर ये था, इसको लिख देते हैं कुछ, 2 इंटू सी, एक्चुअली मैंने लेंथ चेंज कर दी थी ना, तो उसको 3 से अपडेट करो, और फिर बाद में आंसर को फिर से अपडेट करने के बाद में एस को ऐसे लिखना, मिनिमम ऑफ एस कॉमा आंसर। और अब यहाँ पे जो आंसर बनेगा, अब यहाँ पे फिर से 4 तो मेरे को चाहिए एलिमेंट में, तो आंसर माइनस सी, एंड अगेन एस इज इक्वल्स टू मिनिमम ऑफ एस कॉमा आंसर, और लास्ट में मेरे को क्या प्रिंट कराना है, सी आउट एस। सबको कोड समझ आ रहा है क्या? हेलो।
हेलो दीदी, हाँ ये अटेम्प्ट नहीं किया था।
अच्छा, अटेम्प्ट नहीं किया था, बट कोड समझ आ रहा है क्या, लॉजिक क्या है समझ आ रहा है इसके पीछे?
मैंने वो क्वेश्चन पढ़ा नहीं था। ठीक है, मैं उसको एक बार पढ़ूंगी फिर।
अच्छा ठीक है। वैसे अभी कोई डाउट आ रहा है तो बोल सकते हो।
नहीं, मेरे को बस फर्स्ट और सेकंड ही समझ में आए थे तो मैंने वो कर लिए।
अच्छा वैसे ये क्वेश्चन भी टफ नहीं है, काफी सिंपल सा क्वेश्चन है। इसको फिर से ट्राई देना। इसके अंदर
ठीक
लॉजिक
है।
ये है कि मैंने मान लिया कि मैंने एरे के सारे एलिमेंट्स डिलीट कर दिए, तो एरे के सारे एलिमेंट्स डिलीट करने की कॉस्ट होती है n इंटू सी। और फिर मैं जैसे जैसे एलिमेंट रखती गई वैसे मैं
हाँ।
आंसर में से माइनस करती गई। हाँ ठीक है, सी माइनस करो, सी माइनस करो, और अगर मैं कोई एलिमेंट ऐड कर रही हूँ तो मैं डी डी आंसर में मैंने डी भी ऐड किया। और हर बार मैं आंसर का मिनिमम ले रही हूँ और जो भी मिनिमम आएगा उसको इन द एंड प्रिंट करवाना है। और ये रहा इसका कोड, एक बार रन करके भी देख लेते हैं। ऑल द एक्सेप्टेड है। हाँ
दीदी, आपकी
सही।
स्क्रीन नहीं दिख रही है।
नहीं दिख रही है क्या?
नहीं।
वेट। अभी दिख रही है?
नहीं।
नहीं दिख रही है अभी भी?
नहीं।
बाकी सबको आई गेस मैंने प्रेजेंट तो कर रखी है।
इट्स विजिबल। निशा एक बार चेक कर लो, एक बार रीजॉइन कर लो।
ओके ओके
फेसिंग सम
भैया।
प्रॉब्लम।
और तो मैं कोड शेयर कर देती हूँ तुम लोगों को। कोई डाउट हो तो मैसेज कर देना। ऑल्टरनेट नहीं, ऑल्टरनेटिव लॉजिक, मेरे को तो यही लॉजिक आया था और जो आया था मैंने सबसे पहले अप्लाई कर दिया, बट देखती हूँ कोई और ऑल्टरनेटिव लॉजिक हो तो। हाँ यहाँ पे। पूरा कोड नहीं आ रहा क्या? वेट। इसमें पूरा कोड नहीं आता क्या शेखर?
ग्रुप पे डाल दो।
हाँ नहीं आ रहा, ग्रुप पे डाल देती हूँ। ठीक है, ग्रुप पे डाल देती हूँ।
ठीक है। तो गाइस आज का क्वेश्चन भी और आसानी था, तो जाओ मत। तो डी में, तो what's given in D is you have there is a tree and a snail has two attributes. That is, in, in daylight, the snail can climb a meters on the tree, and during the night when it sleeps, it falls down by b meters. So this is how the snail moves. Like in a day it moves up, and in night it goes down. So initially you don't know the height of tree. The height of tree is some h meters, and you are given two kinds of events. One is the snail tells you that it can climb a meters in the day and fall b meters in the night, and it has taken him n days to climb the tree. So the this is an event of type 1, and event of type 2 is snail asks you how many days it will take to climb the tree if it can move up by a meters and come down by b meters. So these are the two types of events that are given in the question. And also, all events of type 1 are not true. So ones which are false are to be ignored. How will we? So how can we do this question? Essentially, in first day, if you think that snail can move up by a distance and come down by b distance, what is the maximum distance it can travel in day one? Can someone answer it? Like, can someone answer what is the maximum distance it can travel in day one? If it can climb by A and fall by B.
isn't it a meters? Like when it the maximum it can climb is a meters. On day 2 the maximum it can climb is 2a plus b meters. Do, is this a point clear actually? The maximum distance which it can climb in n days. Write it. What I mean to say. Is question clear with everyone or shall I explain it in detail again? Those who are listening reply. Yeah, sure. So what happens is there are many snails and each snail can climb a meter in the day and night when it rests it falls down by b meter while for b meter. So what is happening here is suppose this is a tree of high touch on day 0 on day 1 it will climb by a meters. Now during the night it rests it will fall by b meters. Now again it will start from here and climb a meters. A is always greater than b, else it won't be able to reach the top that is given in the question. It will again climb by a meters from this, and during the night it will again fall by b. So this process is continued till it reaches the top of tree. This process is continued. When it reaches the top of tree, it stops. Suppose it reaches the top of tree on nth day, you'll say that the snail has reached the top of tree in n days. So now you have two kinds of events. One is the snail asks you how many days it will take, and another kind of event is the snail will tell you how many days it took to climb till the top. So these are two kinds of events. Now, what are the characteristics of in event one? A snail will tell you that it has climbed by it has climbed the top of tree in n days by moving a distance in the day and falling b in the night. So this is event of type 1. And in event 2, snail asks you how many days it take to reach the top. So and snail tells you that it can travel up by a meters in the day and it will fall by b meters at night. So now what you have to do is in event 1 some of the uh, queries, I mean some of the things are wrong. Like suppose um based on the data given till now, if one of the one of the thing is not possible, you'll have to ignore it. That is given in the question. I'll give you an example. Suppose snail takes 3 meters to climb and falls 1 meter, and suppose it has climbed in 1 day. So based on this, what estimate can you keep? The height of tree, because has reached the top of tree in 1 day, you can say that the height of maximum height of tree is a, that is 3 meters maximum height, and minimum height is 1 because it has took 1 day, else it would have been 0 day. So 1 is minimum height. So based on this information you know that the height of tree lies between 3 and 1. Now if second snail comes and says it can climb 5 meters in a day, and it can snail can climb 5 meters, and during the night it falls by 1 meter, and it says that it has taken suppose 10 days to reach. Obviously this information is wrong. because if you from the previous information you know that the yeah height of tree is between 3 and 1. So uh, this snail bee is lying, so this information is to be ignored. Is this clear? Like when to ignore and what to do? We are talking about event 1 only right now. Is this clear? Yeah, great. So based on the information given by snails, what you can do is you can estimate the least possible height and highest possible height of the tree, because now from this query we have estimated that the least possible height of the tree is 3 and I mean maximum possible height of tree is 3 and minimum possible is 1. So from each query we will find the lower bound of the height of tree and upper bound of height of tree. How will we find that? Now what we can do is, suppose you are given a query a, b and n. Can we say that the maximum height of tree, max height of tree according to this query is a into n plus b into n minus 1? Can we say this? We can say this because we'll assume that during the n minus uh, during the first n minus 1 days, the net movement by the snail is a minus b because it rises by a, falls by b, so this keeps on happening. So we can say that during the first and minus 1 days, it it has traveled this much distance, n minus 1 into a minus b, and on the nth day the maximum it can move is n a meters above. So this is the maximum height of tree possible if uh, a snail has completed in n days. Is this clear? Like how we are calculating the maximum bound, maximum height possible for a tree? What we are doing is, if snail has traveled in n days, you know that in first n minus 1 days it will move by a minus b into n minus 1 distance, and on the last date the maximum distance it can move up is a. So I guess this is clear. If not, yeah. So and now let us calculate the minimum height. The minimum height it can now to calculate the minimum height, let us calculate the maximum height it can travel in n minus 1 days. Maximum height in n minus 1 days. So here instead of n we can substitute n minus 1. So it will become n minus 2 into a minus b plus a. This is the maximum height it can travel in n minus 1 days. So if we increase this distance by 1, this will become the minimum height it will travel in n days. Do you guys agree? Like this is the maximum height it can travel in n minus 1. So any distance greater than this it cannot cover in n minus 1 days. So if you add 1 to this, you know that it will at least it will take n days at least to travel the distance. So minimum height in n days is n minus 2 a minus b plus 1, sorry, plus. Is this minimum height also clear? What we are doing is just calculating the maximum height on n minus 1 days and adding 1 meter, because then it has to travel one extra day. So now do you guys have any doubt in this? Like if you are thinking anything else you can also say that. Yeah, only you, yeah, only Yogesh is there, so I'll be interacting with you, Yogesh. So I think the minimum height, is it clear? Yeah, yeah. So now, if you know the maximum height and minimum height of the tree based on one query, and you have a data based on the previous query, right? Based on previous query, you have an estimation of height of tree, and now based on this event, you have another estimate of height of tree. So now, when to ignore this event? You'll ignore this event when height of tree the height of tree based on a query is in the range of L to R, right? Like L is the lower bound and R is the upper bound. And let us represent L and L up till now and R up till now. What this says is, based on the previous events, this is the estimate of height of tree. That is, it it lies between L up till now and R up till now. And this new event says that it lies between L and R. So if L and R do not intersect, that is they are disjoint, you can say for sure that this is wrong, so this can be ignored. Only when they intersect, it is true, right? Else the thing that snail is saying is wrong, so we'll have to ignore. So how will we check whether these sets are intersecting or not? We can check if uh, two ranges are intersecting or not. When will they not intersect? If L is greater than R up till now, this is the case. R up till now, up till now. So if L lies on this side, you know that L is greater than R up till now. So in this case, it won't intersect. And if R is less than L up till now, even in this case, it won't intersect. So we have found the cases where these won't intersect. And when this is true, this is to be ignored. And the question says, if you are ignoring, print 0. If you are considering, print 1. So in these cases, we'll print 0. In rest of the cases, you'll take the event, and so when they are intersecting, suppose they are intersecting in this way. Uh, suppose suppose they are intersecting in, now our new range will be this. Do you agree, Yogesh? So I think this is, so we'll calculate the new range based on this query. So this way we'll have handle event 1. Now to handle event 2, uh, we'll use event 2 is nothing but based on the height you a snail comes and asks how many days it will take to climb the tree. You know that it will climb by a distance upward and b distance downward. So you'll have to output the answer n. If you cannot tell exactly in how many days it will climb, you'll have to output -1. That's what the question says. So what you can do is, you can calculate the minimum. You We have the lower bound of height and upper bound of height. So what we can calculate is, we can calculate the number of days to climb this lower bound. Let it take n1 days based on this, and to climb this upper bound, let it take n2 days. So now, if n1 is equal to n2, then you will output this n. Else you cannot exactly say that it will take this many days, right? Because you don't know the exact height. So else you'll output -1. Now how to calculate how many days it will take to climb the tree? One thing is, you can iterate we know that in n days it can climb uh, a into a minus b into n minus b into n minus plus b distance. So this is how much it can travel at max. So you can iterate. So you can one option is from iterating from n equals 1 to n equals 1e9, but this will give time limit exceeded because one. So can you think of something? We can apply binary search here because if it can, no, actually these two are same. What I wrote is if you expand this, nothing but a plus a into minus 1 b into, so if you yeah, sorry, I'm sorry, it was a, thanks for correct. So one thing is you can iterate from n equals 1 to n equals 1e9 and check, but this will give time limit etc. So we'll apply binary search here because you know that if it can travel in n days, it will, it can travel in n plus 1 n plus 2 and so on days. So we'll find that day using binary search. I'll show you the code how we are implementing each thing. uh, so what we are doing is, initially you don't know the height height range, so initially we are assuming whole space that lie between 0 to 118 because you don't know exactly how much it lies. So now we are taking in the query. The query is of type 1. We are taking a b n as input. Now this lb represents lower bound, rb represents upper bound. So upper bound is a minus b into n plus b, which is same as a minus b into n minus 1 plus a. Like it is simple math, you can check that it is same. And the lower bound is the distance it will travel in n minus 1 days plus 1. Here I am taking max of 0 comma n minus 2 because if n was 1, uh, it will never travel negative b, right? So for that reason I wrote it this way. You can also write it as a minus b into n minus 1 plus b plus 1. You can also write it in that way. So now once we have calculated the upper bound and lower bound of the query, and this L and R are, L and H are the lower bound and upper bound based on the previous queries, and this is based on the current query. So now you'll check if they are intersecting or not. If they are not intersecting, either the lower bound is greater than H or the upper bound is less than L. So in that case we are outputting 0, and if they are intersecting, the lower bound is maximum of the lower bound and upper bound is maximum of upper bound, and we are outputting 1 because if two ranges intersect, the final range will be, the final lower bound will be maximum of the first two, and the final upper bound will be minimum of the uh, upper bounds of 2. I think this thing is clear. If not, you can also like try with examples. And now we have solved query of type 1 here. So for query of type 2, we are taking a and b as input. Now this, let Dale represent the number of days it will take to climb the tree if we take the height as L, and day height represent the number of days it will take if we assume the height to be upper bound. So now if these 2 days are equal, we'll output day, else we'll output -1. This was what the code is. Now I'll explain what this days function is. So for calculating this days function, we are implementing binary search. So our low, we are initially taking L as something and R as a value height by a minus b plus 1. You can take it as 1e 18 or anything. By I think so. Applying binary search and checking, this is clear binary search. You are taking mid as an element, checking if height of in mid number of days, can it travel a distance greater than or equal to height. If it can travel, you are changing the upper bound to be m. If not, you are changing the lower bound as m plus 1. So this is what we are doing. Using binary search, we are calculating the days, and we'll get the days here, and the question will be solved. Is this clear? I will also share the code in WhatsApp group. I hope it is clear. Yeah. So with this, we'll end our discussion for today. And thanks for joining us.